Good afternoon, this is DKW. I'm Mary Jo.
And I'm Shireen.
Best known as
Ebony.
and Ivory.
But that's a whole other show, because today we're talking about
Bargains.
beauty bargains. How to look your best for less. That's DKW.
See you in a minute.
This one's for the girls. This one's for all the girls. This one's for the girls who love without holding back, who dream with everything they have all around the world. Yeah. This one's for the girls. This one's for all the girls. Yeah, this one's for the girls. This one's for all the girls.
That's right, today we're talking about how to be beautiful on a budget. And today we've got some professionals with us in the studio that's going to give us all the tips that we need to do just that. Because you know, us women, we've got to think about hair, we've got to think about makeup, we've got to think about nails, we've got to think of all kinds of things. So it's good to get a little bit of help from our friends in the studio. But before we do that, we have MJ in the studio and we've got Joyce.
Hello.
Hello, Joyce.
Hi.
And Joyce is our hairstylist who's going to be giving us some tips in a moment, isn't it?
Yes.
But before then, MJ, you've been very busy, especially with the news. What's up? What have you got for us?
Well, today we have a very, like, how can I say, a very brave decision that someone well-known, Angelina Jolie, did. I'm sure everybody knows by now, isn't it? She has decided to have a double mastectomy. And this because her mother died of breast cancer. So she found out that she runs the risk, she has 87% chance of one day carrying the same
gene, isn't
the same gene. So she has decided to do that. And because of that, she now only has like 5% risk of one day carrying the gene. What I think it's a very brave decision, and we see more and more that happening today. And because of that, you know, it's something that it still is a taboo our days, but because people like her do these kind of things, it becomes more, I think, safer and braver for people to do and face these kind of situations.
Indeed.
I don't know what, you know, people think of this, but for me, I thought it was a very brave decision and something very brave to do.
Me too. Actually, before we continue discussing this amongst ourselves in the studio, we want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this topic? It's 0207 686 6300. Give us a call. Tell us what you think about it. I mean, I do indeed think it's very brave. I mean, Angelina Jolie has never been one of my favourite characters in life.
I have to see as well.
But that's, you know, we won't talk about that for now. But when I did see it on the news, I was very surprised. I was really shocked, especially with the way she was able to hold herself during the time that she was doing this. She was still going on doing her duties as a UN ambassador. No one would ever have known. She kept it very private, very secret, but she still remained very strong in the public eye. And this, for me, is it's a very sensitive subject. My auntie, she died of breast cancer, and she had a double mastectomy as well, but she didn't have the opportunity to have reconstruction like we can now do. And I think this is great because it brings awareness to the gene testing. So I didn't know much about it.
I think now it's like our days, because of, you know, the studies, everything that's going on, it's easy to prevent.
Indeed.
I think before, like maybe 10, 15 years ago, people knew when it was already last stage and things like that. I think today is easy for people to prevent these kind of situations, and if they know that is something that runs in the family especially, so it's easy for people to, you know, okay, maybe this could be a problem for me, let me check it out. And
but you know, MJ, some people out there might be saying, oh, but it's still a risk.
It's still a risk. There is still a risk.
Was it a fear factor? Was it the fear that made her, you know, that drove her to do this? Was it really necessary? I mean, what if she would never develop cancer? This is what
because like we said, there was 87% chance that she did, but there was 13% chance that she didn't. But you know, how to make a decision like that?
What would you do, Joyce, if you were in her shoes? Would you do the same thing? What's your opinion on it?
I'm not really sure. I do look at her and I think to myself, she was really brave to do that. And I can see from the perspective of why she done it, to avoid any problems, should there be anything. But then I do wonder, I ask myself, but what if you didn't have the cancer? Was it really necessary? Was it worth not finding out or waiting a little bit longer to see if until there's any symptoms or anything else before deciding to have the double mastectomy? So either way, I'm in a bit of a limbo, because I do see why she has done it, but at the same time I think there is a lot of fear factor. For me, it feels as if there is a lot of fear factor as to why she did go ahead and do it now.
I think as well, you know, she's the mother of
Six children.
Yeah,
six children now.
massive
I
family.
think, you know, as well, you have to think about that
Yeah.
kind of things. I think if it's just probably you, your husband, maybe you, I can wait maybe 1 year and check it in 1 year time, in 2 years time. But I think when you have a big family, then probably you think about more about the future.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with my children if something happens to me? Because her mother died, she was very young.
Yeah.
So I think all of that probably weighs the decision when the person takes a decision like that.
Would you do it, MJ?
Um,
If you were faced with the same thing, would you do it?
I think probably I would. I think probably I would.
I was even discussing this also with a couple of friends about the way she came out about it, about the exposure of it. And I was talking to them about how it's amazing how when you do something like this, which is so deep, how it really helps in the healing process when you just tell others about it. Because I know her being the figure that she is, this will help a lot of women to also make an informed choice. Because to be honest with you, like I said, I didn't really know much about it, but now because she's spoken about it, it's everywhere in the news, I know I've got that option. And I think it's just another, it's good that women out there are able to have more options.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think, you know, when these kind of things come up, because we think, come on, we are in the 21st century.
Yes.
This shouldn't be a taboo anymore. But
Yes.
there is still a certain taboo about,
Of course.
especially breast cancer, I think, because it's something so, it's like it changes a woman.
It does, it
Yeah.
defines who you are,
It
isn't
defines who you are. So when there is, you know, something like this, I think there is still a taboo. I think when it's someone as famous as her comes and speaks about it, I think it's easy for women to think, oh no, maybe there are other options for me. Maybe
Yeah.
I can, you know,
And it's not
Absolutely,
so bad.
yeah.
it's not so bad. Exactly. I can continue my life.
I can continue.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so let's continue the show, shall we?
Yes.
Lovely, lovely news piece. So Joyce, tell us, who are you? Joyce Iwusu. Who are you, and what do you do?
Okay, my name is Joyce Iwozo, and I'm a hairstylist. I've been doing hair for about 16 years now, and I've just established myself in my own shop in Highbury and Islington. And yeah, it's just been a lot of things I've been doing over the years with regards to hair, working with celebrities, session work, fashion, TV shows. So it's all go.
Can I ask you, what made you get into hair? I mean, was it a particular talent? Was it something? How did you get into it in the first place?
This is a story in itself, actually.
Summarise it, please.
Okay, I'll summarise. I decided to follow my passion over my profession because I'm a professional accountant.
Okay.
And it's about coming up to 3 years now. I decided, because I used to do two of them together, the hairdressing and the accounting. And it was fantastic.
Very different,
Yeah, very different. But I'd always had the passion for hair, but it just wasn't something you went to your mother or your parents and you said, oh, by the way, I want to become a hairdresser or do it. You know, they'll be like, no chance. So I followed through in the accountancy. I did enjoy it. I really liked it. But it just got to a point where I just thought to myself, and I was working for a fantastic company, production. I was working for a production company and I was a management accountant. But I just thought to myself one day, I need to follow what I enjoy. And from that point, I decided, right, I'm going to focus 100% in doing hair. And that was coming up to 3 years now. And that's what I've done. Within those 3 years, so much has happened. So much as I've given myself entirely just to that field. So.
But do you specialize in like certain kinds of hair
No.
or everything?
I do hair, full stop.
She wants to know really if you do European hair.
I do,
or anything
yeah.
like that too.
Yes, I do European hair, Afro-Caribbean hair, Asian, mixed race hair of mixed cultures. So it's everything, every kind of men's hair as well. I do men's hair cutting as well. So if you have hair, even if you don't have hair, and you will love a fantastic head massage, we cater to everyone. So.
Now, be honest with us, Joyce. Be honest, because you know hair is a very important thing for most women.
Definitely,
I think 99.9% hair is everything for
Yes.
women. But does it have to be expensive?
It doesn't have to be expensive, no, it doesn't at all. There are, I mean, especially today, 21st century, you see there are many ways we can do things on a budget without breaking the bank, without having to look like the cat has just dragged us through the floor. So there are many options now, so it doesn't have to be expensive.
So give us an example for Mary Jo's hair. I mean, she's here representing the European woman. I'm here representing the black lady. So I would like to know, on a budget, what can she do on a day-to-day basis? Because I mean, when we're going out, we always make an effort. This is just something that, of course, you do.
Yes.
But on a day-to-day basis, to look your best, to look the best you can be, give us a few tips that she can do on a budget just to keep her hair looking really nice.
Okay. One thing I would say, with European ladies, they tend to wash their hair a lot more frequent than...
I wash mine every day.
Yes.
I know it's not good. I know that, but
exactly.
I do it.
Much more than what, say, an Afro-Caribbean woman would do.
Yes.
So
Indeed.
one of the problems is with shampoo. Well, shampoo by its definition is like a detergent. So it can be very stripping to your hair and of your natural oils. So one thing you need to make sure is you wash your hair when you need to, as often as is necessary. Some people do it out of habit, doing it every day because they know they need to get their hair wet. If it's not done, then they automatically feel like there's something wrong, when it might necessarily be the case. So what you should do firstly is wash your hair only when you need to wash it. So
Every day?
Yeah. Not when you want to, dear, when you need to. And also, you need to always make sure you follow through with conditioners. Some people don't actually do that. And it's so imperative because sometimes when you shampoo your hair too much, it can make your hair lifeless and you lack a lot of luster in it, and it can immediately look dull just because of that reason. So it kind of it's weird how it's reverse of what the person actually thinks they're doing. So you need to also make sure that you're using products that is relevant to your hair. So you have colour in your hair, so you should be using shampoos and conditioners that are for coloured hair, because it will limit the reason for you to keep going to the salon to go and top up on your colour services. If you use a normal shampoo and conditioner, for example, it's going to be a lot stronger than shampoos for coloured hair, because it'll be more stripping. So if you're just going to be using the standard things, you're going to be making your visits to the salon to be more frequent. So stick to the actual products that your hair requires. So in your case, coloured shampoos.
But for example, one question. When I go to the hairdresser, they always try to sell me
of course,
these shampoos. You know that.
Yeah.
And I think, do I really need to buy a 20 pounds or 25 pounds bottle of shampoo this size that probably in my hair will like go in 2 weeks?
Right.
Or the shampoo that I buy at the supermarket is good enough?
Right, now this is an issue that people are always talking about.
Yeah.
In the salon, you are always going to be getting salon professional products, meaning the ingredients are going to be quality ingredients, they're going to be relevant to your hair. You're going to be able to produce or get near enough to producing the results you received in the salon at home because you're using those same products. Now, with supermarket brands, I think, to be honest, with certain brands, a lot of these companies are big named people. So a lot of them are going to be doing their testing. They're going to be checking their products. And you know that some of them are going to be having good quality products. But then there's others that are much cheaper, which use bulk, I can't think of a better word, but bulk rubbish plus water and then put a nice label on it. So the best thing you have to do is check your labels, check for certain ingredients. And if it's within your budget, you can buy Salon Professional, it's always best. But what people have to always remember is a little goes a long way. We have the habit of squirting a load. There's a reason why the bottle is this size, not to make you buy quicker, but it's to show you that a little bit goes a long way. So even if it's a penny size or a 2p size amount, that is enough. You don't need to feel the shampoo lavering your whole head. That's another thing. You know, is washing your hair in a certain way. You know, shampoo, you should work it into the scalp and let the suds wash your actual hair strands. You don't need to fill your hands with shampoo and go from head to toe. That's not how you do it. So there's so much. Yes, exactly.
So I do it.
Yeah.
Like
so that shampoo size, this size probably lasts you about a week or two, like you said, when it could actually last you for a month.
Okay then. So maybe it's my mistake.
Breaking the habit, indeed.
Yeah.
All right, so enough about you. I think that's fine with
Yeah.
Let's go to the real issue here. Joy of black people hair.
Yeah.
Now, how will you even start? How will you even begin to discuss this? This is what I want to know. Right. Because there's no way you're going to convince me that I don't need to spend in order to make my hair look nice.
Okay. Now, with Afro-Caribbean hair, it is so important that you most definitely check the labels when you're buying things. If you decide, okay, you're not going to buy from a salon, okay, what am I going to buy? One of the biggest issues with Afro-Caribbean products is that they use some very cheap products, materials in making the products, which in fact, as a standard, Afro-Caribbean hair lacks moisture due to its natural state anyway. So when you're using certain things that have petroleum jelly, for example, which a lot of products do have, and to be honest, most of us have been used to that since we've been children, using these kind of products. But instead of being moisturisers, they're actual barriers to the hair, which means that your hair, the strands of your hair shaft, are not being able to receive or take out anything, which incurs in breakage and all sorts of problems. So with Afro-Caribbean hair, you really do need to speak to a professional about your hair, especially if you're not sure about it, and not just follow the whims of what other people are doing. So if you focus, if someone is on a budget at home, focus on moisture. Look at the back of your ingredients and make sure the first thing that you see on there is water. Aqua, what other words I want to use for it? Water. Just make sure it's water, and make sure things like mineral oils and petroleum jellies are either at the nearer to the bottom or not there at all.
Wow.
Yeah, there is a lot.
And is there like any homemade treatments that maybe you can do at home with things that you have at home, and that maybe will be cheaper than go and buy all these mascaras and all these?
One thing that I'll say is really, really good is olive oil. Olive oil is...
Olive oil, like for example, my hair is
Yeah.
very oily.
Right.
So if you tell me put olive oil, I will think like, come on, this is put more oil into my already oily hair.
But what it does is, how oily is your hair though?
It's very, like, that's why I wash my hair every day. It gets like really bad here, like here, you know.
Yeah. Olive oil is a fantastic conditioner in itself and a treatment. So you can use it as a treatment. You can either mix it into a conditioning treatment that you use at home, or use it on its own if it's something that's relevant to you. So in your case, you wouldn't use it neat directly on your scalp, but you can use it mixed into your own conditions at home that perhaps are not as concentrated or not as good as the salon professional ranges, because it is so moisturizing and it's amazing. You will see the difference immediately from your first use. So though it's not a...
So mix with my conditioner.
With your conditioner. Mix it with your conditioner.
See?
Put
Olive oil?
Yeah, olive oil. So though it's not a replacement, it's a good alternative. Even if it's an interim period or you want to stretch your visits to the salons to be less frequent, then you try that. And always remember, you start with the products at the end of your hair, not at your roots, so that it doesn't weigh it down.
Very nice. Oh, Joyce, I could speak to you all day, literally, but I cannot.
I know.
Thank you so much for coming, Joyce.
Thank you
You've
for
been
having
fantastic.
me.
If you've got any other questions for Joyce and you'd like to get in touch with her, just call the studio on 0207 686 6300. You can find out more about her and the products and her services on the DKW website, that's dkw.me. After the break, we'll be here with Saba Riaz-Wallace, who'll be giving us some makeup and fashion tips. See you soon. Welcome back, this is DKW, and today we're talking about beauty tips on a budget. And just before the break, we had a lovely caller, Christine, who was telling us that actually we need to check the pH balance of our shampoo. That also helps. So we'll also know which pH it is if we visit the hairdressers, they'll be able to tell us, and then we can look for that in our shampoo. So that's very, very important. So thank you very much for that, Christine. And now we're going to be moving on to Saba Riaz-Wallace, who's going to be speaking to us about fashion, makeup and a bit of hair as well, isn't it? Multi-talented. So tell us, Saba, who are you and what do you do?
Hi, my name is Saba Riaz-Wallace, and I'm the creative director of Forever Iconic. And we have launched ourselves in the makeup, hair styling and styling kind of industry. So yeah, it's been go, go, go.
How long have you been doing
Well, I've been doing this like kind of personally on and off since fashion college. Don't make me tell you how long ago. You probably have to work out how old I am, and then I'll feel really sad. But for quite a long time. I think when you're kind of creative, it's always in you, and you're always doing it. But professionally, kind of in terms of like registering a business and stuff, it's been like beginning of this year. So it's always good to do things properly. I think.
Yes.
Lovely. And Saba knows MJ quite well, is that right, MJ?
Yes.
Yes.
And she has done my makeup a few times, and she has done it today. And we have the pictures of the before and the after. Look at
Oh my
that.
days, that's what I call transformation.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Okay, all right, enough. I'm jealous now. But before we talk makeup, let's talk about fashion.
Yeah.
Saba, tell us honestly, what items of clothing can a woman not be without, especially when they're on a budget?
When on a budget. Okay, well, obviously, fashion is, I think it's really important to remember what kind of industry it is. It has to just keep on going because otherwise everything will come to a standstill. They have to change the trends in order to make money. It's a business at the end of the day. I think that's really important to remember. I think the most important things are staple items. So what I mean by that are things that you can kind of use in every single season. So things like a good pair of jeans.
Yes.
You know, you can wear them in the summer, you can wear them with like, you know, kind of like a vest top and some flip-flops, and then you can wear them in winter with like a thicker coat, a thicker jumper or something like that. So it's kind of like good quality jeans, you know, not just like your average kind of like 10, 20 pound because you think, oh, I'll just quickly get it now. If you invest in those, they will last you throughout the seasons. I think another really, really good thing is it's quite a taboo thing for people to talk about, but it's actually like body control for women.
I like it.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I can tell you. You know what? It's one of the biggest things that people don't talk about, but it's like probably every single celebrity, whatever, use it on the red carpet. And it makes people like me feel good to know that maybe they're not that perfect under those clothes, you know. So I know there are loads and loads of really, really good body control for women and for men, actually. Let's start for men as well, so not left them out. But for women, I think the most important thing to remember is you need to actually have something that I think allows you to wear your own undergarments yourself. So don't get things that are built in, like you don't get the top part built into the outfit.
I see.
Because I think you develop like a certain shape and certain, but you know, you have certain designs that suit your figure.
Yes.
And just because it's in a shop, you think, oh, I have to buy it because it's attached to the outfit. So there are shops that do like separate parts. What I don't recommend are the kind of the cycle short kind of things. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of women seem to think that, okay, it hugs them in from here down to here, and then they wear a really, really tight lycra dress.
And then it shows.
And then like this, there'll be a massive bulge just randomly on the leg, and you're thinking, that's not normal, you know. And I think it's really important to actually look at your figure and look at your shape, you know, and if you have got like more of an apple shape, which is like more round, top heavy, you get like just the top part, you know. If you've got bigger legs, then you go for the one that starts here and goes all the way down just towards the knee. That's the thinner part of the body. And I think they're really, really important because sometimes, I know, I'm going to be honest, I have things in my wardrobe which I keep there because I'm like, just one day.
I'm telling you.
Just one day. And I'm okay to say, I'm like, I'm going to wear you one day. Yeah, there will be a time I will fit into you.
Even if I have to take you out a bit more.
I know. It's like, it's just sitting there, sometimes still with the label on, and I'm like, why did I even buy you, you know? But it kind of makes me feel good because I know that I can wear those sometimes, you know, without actually being like, you know, feeling really uncomfortable. I can wear those. You have your body control underneath. You can kind of pull off any outfit, and you know that you're not really going to be, you know, showing any lumps and bumps in places that you shouldn't be in that respect. So really, really good piece of investment, I think. So I think that kind of sets you for anything you wear, you can wear with confidence. I think that's the most important part of fashion. You know, you can have coloured tops that are on trend and stuff like that. But if you don't feel good inside, you're not really going to be able to carry it off in that respect. So that is my biggest thing that I say to people, just make sure you've got a good piece of body control.
But for example, do you think that is good to keep? Like, for example, you said you keep these dresses. I do that. I'm sure Shireen does that. Who doesn't? But do you think, like, for example, I see that there is a lot of in fashion that it was trendy maybe 20 years ago, and now it's coming back again. Like, for example, do you think there are certain pieces that you should always keep?
I think things that are made from real, the actual real material, like leather, for example. My dad was such a, you know, he was quite a style icon. When I look at him back in the day, I'm like, Dad, is that you? Flares out here, nice tailor jacket. Completely different now though. But yeah, I think, you know, I say to him like, Dad, why didn't you keep those leather jackets? Like, you know, they would be so good right now. Because now you go into the high street, you get more pleather, you know, you get fake plastic leather. It's not really real. Stuff that I say, you know, keep the things that are, you know, real suede, real leather, because they will recycle themselves. And I think now we've reached a level within the fashion industry whereby you do have like a complete, you have the mainstream trends, spring, summer, autumn, you know, you have those. Then you also have like the alternative side where they're always wearing whatever they want to wear. As long as you look good. You know, you see things that you think, my nan's like curtains made out of that. Like, they look good in it, do you know what I mean? So you just think to yourself, well, as long as I can carry it off. But in terms of keeping stuff, you know, you can, if you shop from kind of lower end high street shops, you can kind of like just discard them. But also, I think it's really important to hold on to stuff that is real, that you've really invested in, like good pair of jeans, nice leather jacket, you know, and then you can probably recycle them because they will, like you say, come back in fashion.
Fabulous. All right then, okay, let's move on from fashion
Yes.
to makeup.
Yes.
Very, very important. So
Very
what
important.
tips can you tell us about makeup, Sarah?
I think the most important thing is to really know what's good for your skin and what you like as well. Because I think that people look through magazines and they see, oh yeah, this product's got like 5 stars. Let's go and get it.
Yeah.
You know, you might have the oily skin in the world, and you see a cream foundation with 5 stars. You go out and buy it. You know, your face is going to be sliding off. You know, you need to know what is good for your face, what's good for your skin, what's good for you. And I think the biggest thing is kind of really matching your foundation. I think for women, like, I know within the Asian community, there's a lot of people who think that the fairer they are, the prettier they are, and they'll like have a brown neck and brown body, but a white face. And you're like, that's
seen
not
that as well.
natural. You know, it doesn't look natural.
Yes.
You know, so I think that's really important. There are some really, really good beauty retail outlets that match you up, no cost. You know, if you ever like want to go out and do that, you get to know what colours, you know, really work with you.
I've got some, before we go to the video question, because we've got the DKWs went out on the street and asked some
Okay.
people, you know, about some questions for makeup to pose to you. Before we do that, I want to know from you, what things can you just not budget on? Because I know this is beauty on the budget, but I've heard from a lot of stylists and makeup artists that there are certain things you just can't budget. You need to be able to invest in. What are those?
Well, I think in terms of beauty itself, things that I think you really, really need to, you can't hold back on spending money on like good kind of bases, good like makeup bases. Nowadays we have the new BB creams, the new CC creams, and I think they're coming out with a DD cream, and I don't know what's next. But I think it's really important because it's like the foundation. Like you wouldn't build a house on sand, so why put your makeup on something that's not really going to last? That's my opinion, you know. Someone needs to write that down because I'm going to forget that.
Very it's recorded.
Trademark that. So basically, yeah, that's really, really important just to have really good, there are some really, really good products. I mean, they might set you back about £25, £30, but like, you know, like the previous guest said, a little goes a long way. You know, you need to have a good base before you can apply the rest of your makeup on. You know, other things you might be able to, you know, try different types of mascara, you know, you can try different eyeshadows, but the base, definitely the base.
All right. Okay, so let's go to our video questions.
How do you get rid of bags under your eyes using makeup or something that shrinks them?
Okay, so getting rid of bags under the eyes. I think the most important thing is not just to try and cover them up with makeup. I think that's the biggest thing. If people have bags, they're just trying to like put loads and loads of foundation on and concealer on. Really kind of use like the old tea bag trick. Which is like, you know, kind of.
Is that good for dark circles as well?
It's really, really good for that, and also like kind of cold spoons, or anything kind of flat. I mean, if you put them in, if you put them in freezers, it kind of like, because obviously like when you're with puffiness, your skin's like kind of a little bit more expanded. It's kind of like to contract it to make it kind of shrink down. It reduces that, which will then in turn make the foundation, the makeup easier to apply on top of it. It's not just about covering up when you sit in front of the dressing table. It's about doing something before you get to that stage that will give you the overall kind of.
But then you do that like what, 2-3 times a week? Every day?
I like it.
Just have like 10 spoons in the freezer and every day.
Yeah.
Another one there, another one there.
A whole load of PG tips.
Yeah.
Another question. Do you have another question?
How do I make lipstick long lasting?
Okay, yeah, that's a really, really good thing. There's a few things. Again, a really good primer. You can get really good primers. But before I'd say do anything, make sure you exfoliate your lips. I mean, some people can say using like an old toothbrush. And I'm not saying like literally go for it. I don't want people like viewers calling up and like, I've had like, you know, broken lips and stuff. But kind of like just an old toothbrush, just very gently exfoliate it, put a nice primer on, but then apply your lipstick and blot. Apply your lipstick and blot. And then apply lipstick and you're done. And that really pushes it into the cracks of the skin rather than just doing it once, because then once it's taken off, there's nothing to kind of show on the next level. So that's...
Yeah. I'm definitely going to try that because my lipstick just goes like that.
Yeah.
Budget. Okay, so old toothbrush and tea bags and a cold spoon. Next question.
I don't wear makeup. What advice would you give me about makeup, and what kind of makeup should I be wearing?
Okay, well, very pretty girl that question anyway. So I think the most important thing is to go for things that you're comfortable with. I mean, there's things that are always in magazines that look really good on a certain model because she'll have a certain shaped eye or a certain, you know, face structure. everyone's got different eyes and different face structures. It's really hard to just replicate a look in a magazine on you or someone else because their eyes and everything's different. So it's about doing what's right for you, I think. In terms of that actual particular person who asked that question, she had really good bone structure. So I think really, really nice contouring and just kind of very neutral, natural makeup for her would look really good. But definitely stick to things that are for your face shape, you know, and your eye shape. So if you've got small eyes, don't just put loads and loads of black all around it because it will shrink it to like this big. You know, and kind of like if you have bigger eyes, you can really make the most of those by doing darker looks on those. So yeah.
Okay, lovely. All right, have you got a final one?
What's a good foundation for dry skin?
Okay, for dry skin, okay, the most important thing to remember is your actual consistency of the makeup. So if you've got dry skin, you don't want to be putting powder on top of it because it's just going to completely dry it out itself. So for dry skin, people say normally creams, and creams are kind of like more kind of oil based. There are like water based liquids that are out, but I think the cream ones, which you can apply with a brush or a sponge, they're really, really good because that kind of actually hydrates your skin as well. I mean, like personally, I use powder because my skin is kind of a bit of a combination. It's dry here, but more oily on the T-zone. So I use a powder, but if you put powder on someone with dry skin, you're asking for trouble. They're going to look like a blackboard, all like dry and chalky and stuff, so don't do that.
Lovely, thank you so much, Saba.
You're welcome.
You've got some hair to show us as well. So I'll let you go into our lovely hair. So we've got our beautiful model Pamela waiting.
Beautiful.
And maybe you have got a makeup tip that you'd like to share on air. So please call us 0207 686 6300. We'll be happy to hear from you. Or you can put on our Facebook page, A Different Kind of Woman, or email us at comments@dkw.me. Okay, Saba, so what have you done?
Okay, this is just a really, really simple kind of look that I've done now, and because we're kind of around prom season, wedding season, this is a really, really quick look. What I've done is my model has beautiful, long, really heavy hair, and I think it's really important when people have long, heavy hair to take the weight out of the hair before you style it. So in order to do that, what we've done is we've created two ponytails. This is one ponytail that came here, and there's another ponytail down here. That separates the weight of it rather than having one huge ponytail. For this particular look, I have gone slightly off centre, I've slightly brought it this way so she can have her hair coming from the front. You can move it anywhere you want. Okay, so what we did here is the top ponytail, I put through a donut, which like this. They're really, really well priced. They're so cheap and you can use them again and again. So I put that through the hair. And what I've started to do is I've started to just take a section. It's really important to make sure the donut actually matches the hair or the general kind of hair colour. Take a section and twist it around and just kind of like pop that down like that. And kind of use pins that are the same colour rather than something like bright orange or something like that. So again, what I've done is just literally taking strands of hair, kind of small strands, wrapping them around my finger and just kind of wrapping them and just pinning them down. Did like some of this just before.
It looks very easy, you doing it now.
Yeah,
If it was me at home, probably.
I think it's one of those things that you can practice because it's not damaging to your hair. It's not like you're having to learn how to curl your hair in that respect. This is not going to damage your hair at all. So you can practice and practice and practice as much as you want.
I think that's the same thing with makeup, right? Because
yes, this is true.
you have to try and try until you feel comfortable with what you are wearing.
That's right. It is really, really important. It's really, really important to do that. So just going to take another bit here.
Just put it into a nice bob, isn't it? Beautiful.
And I see that her hair is a little bit curled.
Yes.
Right? You're going to speak to us
yes, I'm going to speak to you
about that as well.
So basically the bottom bit, what we've done with that is to basically just to run a few curls through it, which makes it just kind of those very romantic kind of curls for like proms and weddings and things like that.
And then, like for example, people might think, oh, I need to have a curl, I have to have a straightener, I have to have this, this and this. What are the basics, like for people, you know, that can, with one machine or maybe two, can do a lot of things? I mean, with a straightener, you can actually do a lot more than people think. I mean, you don't have to just do, straighten. You can't. Yeah, you can do a lot more. Hair. I mean, I've got some straighteners here. When you actually, I'll just show you with a little piece. They're not actually on, but if you want to crimp your hair, for example, you can literally just take them and just put them in this kind of motion. So you hold it down like that, you rotate it like that, rotate it like that,
rotate it like that. It can actually do a lot more. And then you can flick hair under. You can actually curl by just twisting the straighteners itself as well. So a really good pair of straighteners and like a curling wand like this, which is what I actually used to do the rest of the hair here. So if we just turn this bit around, I mean, we've got a few very soft curls there. It's something that's really easy to do because obviously people, they can't curl the back of their hair very well. So if they just have like a few pieces just down here, she can just put a few down here. I mean, you can make them as big as you want or as light as you want, but it just kind of gives you that really kind of very, very quick. I mean, this literally took us about 10 minutes. So it's like really, really quick just to kind of, let's rotate you this way, just a really, really quick kind of look. You know, just if you want to do like for a prom or like, you know, a bridesmaid
wedding
look.
now. It's
very, very quick and easy.
Oh, Saba, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for all your amazing tips.
Thank you.
If you'd like to contact Saba today, feel free to do so on 0207 686 6300. Or you can find her details on our DKW website at dkw.me. Now, after the break, we're going to finalise our programme by talking accessories and jewellery making after this break. Welcome back, and on today's programme we've been speaking about beauty tips on a budget. We've given you fashion tips, we've given you makeup tips, and now we're going to go on to some accessories. But before we do that, I have a little game. So first of all, let me welcome Melissa, explain who she is. Melissa, who are you and what do you do?
Charming.
Because I don't know you at all, you see.
No. I'm a jewellery maker, a jewellery designer and maker.
Yes.
And I also founded the Bejeweled Academy, which is basically a creative service that we offer, me and a team of creative people. We offer workshops to children, to young people, to adults, and we teach them how to make jewellery, and we also teach them how to upcycle clothing and do other creative things like bakery and stuff like that. But it's just teaching them to use their creative skills, things that they wouldn't normally, like with children, things they wouldn't do within the school day.
That's
So
really
it.
nice.
Yeah, they love it. We love
What
it.
made you do this, Melissa?
Right, well, I started out, well, actually, I was an office manager at Goldman Sachs years ago, which is nothing to do with what I currently do, but I used to buy handmade jewellery from a friend of mine, and I always thought, oh, I wonder how to do that. And actually, it was one week where I was having a really bad week that week. I had some personal issues, and I had got an email about a jewellery making class. It just came to my email, and I thought, oh, I want to treat myself to something, interesting and different. So then I booked onto it, and I loved it, and I was really quick. I was a quick learner. I made loads of stuff, and even the tutor there was like really impressed with me. And straight after that, I went home and I bought all the tools that I needed, everything online, and I took it up as a hobby. And then I went on to doing it sort of on the side as well as working. I started setting up a website, selling my jewellery, approaching like retail outlets, etc. And then I decided to make a bit of extra money because I had a studio at the time which I had to pay rent for. I decided to hold classes there, and then it just kind of rolled on from there. I went out to schools, and then I expanded to not just jewellery making, and that's kind of how it happened, really.
All right. Well, actually, I'll just continue my interview with you for now before we do the game. I'm so
Right,
interested.
okay.
I just want to know, from your point of view, Melissa, because this is about beauty on a budget and accessories, because I know that it's not just jewellery that you do, but you accessorise as well.
Yeah.
Would you say that learning to do your own thing is actually a money-saving mechanism?
Extremely. It's just, you save so much money, you wouldn't believe. To be honest with you, when I started my business, obviously because I was focusing on doing that, I didn't always have a lot of money to splash out on like really nice clothes and new clothes. And but there was a lot of things going on, a lot of weddings, a lot of events, and you have to show up, and you can't always wear the same thing. So what I started to do is I'd take old things that I bought that were of quality, but they'd worn out and stuff, and I'd think, okay, how can I revamp this, or how can I make this look different, or how can I make this look new? And I got down to my local haberdashers, to be honest with you, and they've got lots of different things like ribbon, shoe dye, just different gems. So I got a glue gun, and I started putting gems on my shoes and changing the colours. just making like little felt flowers, sticking them on clothing, you know, just things like that that make a big difference. And so, you know, people would look at my things and be like, oh my gosh, that's lovely. Where did you get it from? And I'm like, oh, Unique Boutique. You know? It really, you know, if you just, with a little bit of creativity, it goes such a long way. And it's you don't have to be somebody who's gone and done like a fashion degree or anything like that. Not at all, because I hadn't. But just looking at things and thinking, oh, how can I change this up? Oh, I could do this, or I could add that. And it can make a huge difference. And
it's also nice because it's unique, isn't it? It means that no one else is going to have your outfit.
And that's the great thing, because you know, that can happen a lot with women. So that's the great thing about it, that you know that definitely somebody's not going to show up with my dress, which is great, you know.
I think as well concerning jewelry, for example, I have a lot of earrings in my box that they only have one. You know, the other one went missing. I don't know where. So, like for example, can you use this? Do you have like, for you to do a necklace, do you have to buy everything new, or can you like, you know, get old stuff that you have there? And
definitely, I think that's something that I love to do. You know, if you just investing in learning a few creative skills, you can, for example, repair something. Maybe if you do lose a few beads off of a necklace, you can go to the shop and buy a few different beads and just reconstruct and make it a brand new necklace. You can even break down the necklace and make it into some earrings. There's a lot that you can do. So, you know, for me, I don't throw away broken things. And even I get family members now who, when they've got broken or one side of an earring, they're like, oh, here, do you want this? And I'm like, yeah, sure, because I know I can use it for something. Yeah, so that's a definite. I mean, don't chuck away your old jewelry. You can definitely use it for something.
All right, lovely. Let's get into our game before we talk more with Melissa. And she's going to be showing us how to make jewelry live on the programme, which is also fab. We'll do that in a second. But I want you to grab hold of these cards.
Okay.
Right. Let me tell you, because this is beauty on the budget. If you look at these, you're going to see there's images of household things that you'll find, like banana, mashed potato, honey, avocado, strawberry, lemon. Now, this is the game. I'm going to give you a question and you guys have to decide which one of these would be the answer. Okay? So something that you can do on a budget to make yourself beautiful using a household product. First question, just 3 questions. What would you use out of everything you've got on your card? And you can answer as well at home. Call in, feel free, 0207 686 6300. What would you use to cure swollen feet? Have a look. 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
2 things or just one?
One. What would you use?
Mashed potatoes.
Me too. You guys, they Googled this. They must have Googled it, I'm telling you. Is it? They're correct. Well done. Mashed potato. Apparently, yeah.
Brilliant.
Apparently. The potatoes will retain heat longer than a traditional foot bath, and they help reduce swelling and soften skin. To make the experience more glamorous, add essential oils before you put your feet in. Then indulge feet in one of the best soaks you'll ever have. So that's right. Mashed potatoes, put your feet in, and then your swelling will go down.
I really don't.
I'll be trying that. My feet swell all the time.
All right, let's try something else. What would you use to fight acne?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what is it again? Honey?
Could it be
I
honey?
don't know. I'm gonna go honey.
I'm gonna go with lemon.
Honey and lemon. Sorry,
Nice
this
tea.
is not a this is not a cough solution. Unfortunately, they're both wrong. It's actually strawberries. I'll tell you why.
Yes, that was the way.
Well, strawberries are a natural source of something acid, which I wouldn't even try to pronounce on TV. But if you mash them together, half a cup of fresh strawberries with half a cup of sour cream or yogurt, spread over your clear skin, let it set, so it's going to be like a face mask for about 15 minutes, then rinse well. Apparently it's really good for your acne. So clear yourself, forget about it. Mash strawberries and yogurt, place on your face, does the job. Wow. All right, one more before we go to our jewellery making, shall we? What could be the perfect substitute for really dry skin?
Dry skin.
I think banana.
So, MJ says honey, Melissa says avocado. And MJ, you're correct. It's honey. Honey is a powerful antioxidant and also has antibacterial properties, making it very good for breakouts. Honey is perfect for healing acne-prone and dry skin. Spread on clear skin and let it set for 15 minutes and then rinse with warm water. So honey it is. Look, there's many more that you can find on our Facebook page at Different Kind of Woman. Other solutions as well that you can take from home, which is really, really good. But I'll be trying that honey one definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but if also you've got some tips that you'd like to share with us, please place it on our Facebook page at Different Kind of Woman. Place your comments there, we'll read it out. Or phone us in the studio with your tip on 0207 686 6300. Now, Melissa, you're going to show us some jewellery, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
So make your way to the table. Yeah. As she does that, I believe we've got some pictures of the different kinds of things that Melissa does in her academy. Let's have a look at those.
I think them are.
This is her at a jewellery making course. Would you like to explain more about it?
Yeah, I was at I can't remember what festival, I think it was Brockwell Parks. It's something that they have every year actually. But anyway, it was with the fostering stand, so it was to draw people to the stand, so it was a family into sort of a family activity, so the children and mothers and fathers would make jewellery together.
All right, so show us something. What are you going to show us today?
Right, okay.
Saba, if you'd like to join her, she'll be your model today to help you.
Lovely. Right, this is really simple. I mean, jewellery making, there's so much to jewellery making. But what we're going to start off with is just something simple, which is a drop earring. And you're going to see how easy, it's just going to take a few minutes to make. So, what I'd like you to do is we have here a head pin, which is what we're going to start off with. Now, these, they actually come in different types of materials. This is silver plated, but you can get real silver, you can get gold, and you can get them in different lengths. So this is just a short one. So what I'd like you to do is if you just pick up 2 of your head pins.
Yeah.
And just, I think 2 beads is all that's going to fit on them, to be honest with you, on each.
On each one?
And it's 1 head pin for each ear, so matching.
Okay. Blue one. I feel like I'm back at school. I like it. It's fun. Okay, do I put it down?
Yep. And then the next one. I think I'll do it with you, actually.
Yeah, because otherwise we're just going to have one side of the earring. We need a pair.
I think she's going to do 2, actually.
It's the same size as the one as well. Okay.
So tell us, is it like easy to, to buy material like this?
Yeah, I mean, there are loads of bead shops in London and around London, to be honest with you. I think even if you just Google, I think it's easy to find your local bead shop. But failing that, I mean, the bead shops obviously sell all the things you need for jewellery making, but failing that, even things like charity shops and that, they do sell packets of beads. And there's even this new shop called Tiger.
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, and they sell the tools for quite cheap. I think they're £2 each. They sell packets of beads as well for £1, so it's really becoming a lot easier to get jewellery making things. Okay, so what we're going to use are these. These are called round nose pliers. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is pick them up, and all you're going to do is get your pliers and get the tip of your pliers and just sort of pinch their head pin, but just above your bead, just above your top bead. And all you're going to do is turn it to a 90 degree angle.
Like that?
Yeah, she's a really good student.
There we go.
Okay.
Good teacher, that's why.
Oh, you guys.
Okay, so now if this was too long, you would cut it down, but because it's already a good size, so we don't need to do any cutting. So you're going to now use the same pliers.
Okay, yeah.
And all you're going to do, this is the hardest part, you have the head pin facing ahead of you, so facing like where you're facing, and with the pliers, all you need to do now is take the head pin and get it in between the pliers, but this time not at the very point, not at the very end, just a bit further in.
Okay.
And you're going to close it in, but there shouldn't be any wire sticking out the other side, so it shouldn't be like that.
Okay.
It should be right on the end like this.
Okay.
And you need to get a firm grip, so
Okay.
exactly like what I'm doing. So just like that.
Okay. There we go. Is that it?
Okay, yeah. So you need to make sure you've got a firm grip,
Yeah.
and the hand that's holding the bead, don't move it at all. And all you're going to do is just curve this back towards you as far as you can go. And once you've stopped, it's looking great. Yeah, once you've stopped, it should look like a question mark or a hook. Yeah, that's good. So then that's that. So you've gone as far as your wrist will allow you to go. Then you're just going to go back in and put the pliers back into the hook. It's a bit fidgety.
I think it must be very like relaxing as well.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic. People always say that. And you're just going to bring it all the way around till it makes a loop. There you go.
It's a bit wonky, I'm not gonna lie. There we go. Is that?
Yeah, so just try and close it in.
My hands are so sweaty. It's slipping all over.
You do really well.
I feel like I got the hard part. There we go.
Yeah, that's cool. So what I'll do is just fix that a little bit for you.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. But it's really good though, you've done really well. So it's just like that. And all you would do then is that's pretty much it done. You would take flat nose pliers and you can already buy the earring hooks like this. Just open them up.
And put it there.
And hook it on. And that's already
one earring.
Oh,
fabulous. Thank you.
Wow.
That's my own personalised one. It's mine.
That's wonderful, absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, Melissa, for
You're
that.
welcome.
That was wonderful. Look, if you want to hear more about how to make your own jewellery, about accessorising, feel free to call Melissa here at the studio on 0207 686 6300. You can also find her details this week on dkw.me. That's our website. You can have a look there. It's Melissa Leon Jewellery in the Bejewel Academy. So we've come to a close of our programme, MJ.
Yes.
It's been fantastic. I must say I've learned a lot.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, beauty is very important. Taking care of yourself is very, very important. And that's why we brought the professionals on today to give us these tips. Because it doesn't have to be expensive, does it? It's, at the end of the day, if you know that you really want to make an effort, there's always a way. And that's what this is really, really about. That there's no expense that needs to be spared, or even too much needs to be invested if you really want to make the effort. So until next time, that's DKW. Bye-bye.